Just take a moment then to get your alignment. So let's have feet about hip width apart. Have your weight back through your heels. Find that neutral pelvis. So remember, you're not tucking your bottom under and you're not sticking it right out. It's kind of halfway between the two so that your hip bones and pubic bone are kind of on the same level. Let your ribs relax down. Roll your chest and shoulders open. Arms are down by your sides. Looking into the distance and think about really growing tall through the crown of your head. Take 3 really deep breaths here. Just letting go of any tension. Just notice if you're holding anywhere. So checking your jaw, shoulders. Just notice if you're really tense anywhere. And then we're going to start to gently move our head side to side. So when you're ready, start to turn your head as far one way as you can and then go the other way. Just gently from side to side. Noticing how that feels. Noticing if your shoulders are wanting to come up. Alright, as you come back through centre this time, hold there. Let's go for a shoulder roll. Making really big circles with your shoulders. Bringing them as far forwards as you can. As high as you can and back as far as you can. And then we're going to reverse those circles, go the other way. We're going to do big arm circles next, so circling your arms around. Nice and slow, nice and controlled, don't want to be flinging anything. See how far back you can take them. And then reverse those circles and go the other way. Can you do one arm going one way and the other arm going the other way? Can you get your brain working? Like, and then can you reverse that and go the other way? And it might be a no. Yeah. Just making sure that you're awake this morning. All right, let your arms relax down. Bring your hands together in that prayer position. We're going to do an upper body twist now. So keeping your pelvis still, hip bones are going to stay pointing forwards. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to twist your upper body as far one way as you can. Inhale as you come through centre and exhale, twist the other way. Inhale through centre. Exhale, twist. Really think about exhaling and squeezing all of the air out. Going as far as you can. Good, one more to each side. And as you come back in through centre after your last one, just let your arms just have a little swing. We're going to interlace our fingers now. And we're going to turn the hands so the palms face down towards the floor and press down towards the floor. Release that and press out straight in front. Again, release that and press up towards the ceiling. Release your hands there and circle your arms down by your sides. We're going to interlace the hands behind our back now. So interlace the hands behind your back. Palms are going to stay facing up towards the ceiling this time, but press your hands down towards the floor. Can you pull your shoulder blades together? Really squeezing those shoulder blades together as much as you can. And then keep squeezing the shoulder blades. Can you lift your hands behind you? Keep squeezing those shoulder blades and then just release. Let everything go. Again, just give everything a little wriggle. Take your feet wide now. Let's go into a little bit of a wide squat. And we're going to turn our feet out to the sides a little bit. So just do a couple of little squats there. Make sure that you're happy with your kind of position, making sure that your knees aren't rolling in. Your knees want to be kind of going out over your toes. Once you're kind of happy with that squat, we're going to add some arms onto this as well. All right, so we're going to interlace our hands again. Okay, and we're going to inhale. We're going to bring the palms up towards the chin as you inhale. As you exhale, turn the hands over, press the palms towards the floor and squat down. Keep the squat. Inhale as you reach the arms. They're going to come forwards and up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to exhale as we release the hands and come up out of that little squat. All right, interlace your hands again. Inhale as you bring the hands towards your chin. Exhale, turn the hands over and squat down. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling, and then release the hands and exhale all the way back. And do that again when you're ready. Interlace and inhale up. Exhale, squat down. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling, and exhale, come back to your start. We're going to do that one more time. Interlace. Inhale to lift. Exhale to press. Inhale, reach the arms up and up to the ceiling, and exhale, release and come all the way back down. Good job. Okay, so we're going to do a little tree balance now. So we're going to have the toes of one foot down on the floor, heel is just above your ankle. And then notice what's happened with your hips. Have you kind of gone all saggy in the hips? Try and get that nice alignment with your hips. And can you just turn your knee in and out here? So pelvis stays still and we're turning that leg in and out. Alright, let's just do the same on the other side. So toes down, heel just above your ankle. And can you turn that leg in and out? And is it different on this side? Do you kind of want to sag into your hips? Can you keep them the same? Alright, we're going to add some arms on. So we're going to go back to the first hand. We're just going to hold that position. So you can either just have your foot down on the floor, if your balance is needing that this morning. You can lift that foot a little bit higher, or you can have it super high. So whatever works for you, wherever you can hold your balance. We're going to open the arms out. We're going to reach up towards the ceiling, bringing your hands together over your head, and then we're going to lower the hands down. We're going to do that 3 times. Release the hands, open out, reach for the ceiling, and lower the hands down. Can you do one more time? And when you lower that last time, you're going to release your leg, and we're going to do the same on the other side. So again, you've always got the option of toes down. If it's different on one side to the other, just find your position that works for you. I'm going to keep my toes down on this side. When you're ready, you're going to again reach the arms up towards the ceiling and release them down. Again. You can breathe however works for you. I like to inhale as I reach out, and then exhale to come down. Nice. Alright, we're going to take it down onto the mat now. So when you're ready, lie yourself down with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Just taking time for your spine to settle into the mat. Remember, as always, if you feel that you need something under your head to help you get those ribs to come down, or just to make your neck more comfortable, feel free. Just take some deep breaths while you're here, allowing your body to relax. A couple more breaths here. And then we're going to start with some arm overs. So we're going to float our arms up towards the ceiling, palms facing in towards each other. And you're going to take your arms all the way overhead towards the floor behind you, but don't let your ribs lift. And then we're going to let the hands come all the way back down to your hips. Do that again. So I like to inhale as the arms go overhead, and then exhale to bring them back down. See if you can keep your shoulder blades in contact with the floor the whole time. And the back of the ribs stay down the whole time. I'm going to do one more like this. And then as your arms come down this time, we're going to pause there. Okay, we're going to take our arms out to the sides now for floor angels. So palms are facing up towards the ceiling. And you're going to slide your arms out along the floor and up towards your head. Again, only go as far as you can maintain that ribs down. Just go with your breath. Again, I like to inhale as I reach the arms up, and exhale to come down. And then as your arms come back down by your sides this time, I'm going to pause there. Okay, so I want you to lift your bottom up and just shift your hips to your left, just a couple of inches to the left. And then we're going to straighten the right leg out and lift your left leg into tabletop. Okay, and then we're going to roll all the way onto our right hand side to bring that knee down onto the floor. So you can onto your right hand side now. So your right arm, you can bend that arm to cradle your head. And then we're going to reach that left arm up towards the ceiling. So we're going to really stretch and we'll reach that arm up towards the ceiling. And we're going to take that arm over our head towards the floor and then bring it back up towards the ceiling. And again here we're trying to keep the ribs down. So notice as you reach your arm, is that rib cage lifting? And you keep that rib cage down and it's just the arm that's moving. And then as you come back up towards the ceiling this time, we're going to pause there. We're going to keep reaching that arm. We're going to keep our knee down on the floor and we're going to roll our body or rotate our body back, taking that arm back behind you, allowing your rib cage to twist, but your pelvis is going to stay still. Holding here. And then we're going to do like a little arc. So the arm is out behind you. Can you take that arm up towards your head and then back out behind? So we're just in a little arc there. And you're just playing with that movement that you've got there. You're just noticing where it feels tight. You know, maybe getting a big stretch through your upper arm, your shoulder and your chest. And then as your arm goes out behind you, again we're going to reach that arm all the way back up towards the ceiling and then just gently lowering that arm down. Roll yourself onto your back and we're going to do the same on the other side now. So this time you're going to just lift your bottom and slide your hips to the right a little bit. You're going to straighten out your left leg and right leg goes into tabletop. You're going to roll yourself onto your left side this time, bringing that right knee down onto the floor. Remember that bottom arm, that left arm can cradle your head. I'm going to take the right arm up towards the ceiling this time. And again, really stretch and reach that right arm, make it as long as you can, almost that you can scrape the ceiling with your fingernails. And then you're going to take that arm overhead towards the floor. Maybe you can get your thumb down on the floor. It doesn't matter if you can't. But again, notice as you take that arm as your rib cage wanting to lift, can you keep your ribs down? And then as your arm comes up towards the ceiling this time, we're going to add that rotation. So really stretch your arm to the ceiling again. Keeping your knee down, we're going to twist the upper body away so rib cage can move, knee stays down. Just let your head go where it's comfortable. It might want to follow the arm. And then again, we're going to do that little arc here. So it's coming up towards your head and then just back out to the side. Again, just notice, is it different on this side to the other side? Good. Alright, and then as your arm comes back out behind, you're going to reach it up towards the ceiling, give it a little stretch, and then just gently release that arm all the way down. Roll yourself onto your back now. Let's bring our knees into our chest, give your knees a little hug and just rock gently side to side, just releasing any tension in your lower back. We're going to release the legs now so that your feet come back down onto the mat. And we're going to reach our arms up towards the ceiling and then we're going to bend our elbows and have your palms facing towards you. We're going to bring our elbows together and the outside of our hands together, so little finger side of your hands together. Can you keep your elbows together and open your hands apart. And then bring them back together again. So elbows together and hands come apart. Just play with that a few times. So elbows stay together, hands come apart. And notice as your hands come apart, are your arms dropping more towards your face, or can you keep them the same distance? It's a tough one, and mine do drop towards my face. It's just tension through your shoulders. Can you do one more like that? Oh, and then we're going to interlace our hands. Press your palms towards the ceiling and stretch into your hands. Make sure those fingers are really knitted well together, so really at the base of the fingers, and press the palms to the ceiling. When you're ready, we're going to take those arms overhead, but keep your ribs down. Keep pressing into your hands. And then slowly bring the hands back to the ceiling. Bring your hands apart, give your fingers a wriggle, get as much space between your fingers as you can. And then circle your wrists. And the other way. And then gently pull in each finger in turn back. Give your fingers a stretch. And give them a wriggle again. Okay. When you're ready, you're going to take your arms down by your out to the sides in that T shape. Palms facing up towards the ceiling. We're going to bring our knees and feet together for a spine twist. So take a breath. As you exhale, both knees roll to one side and your head is going to go the opposite way. Inhale as you come through centre, and exhale, take the knees over. Remember that we're trying to keep our rib cage and our shoulder blades anchored into the mat so that the rib cage is still, but the pelvis is shifting side to side. Should feel like a nice stretch through your waist. And then we're going to take the feet wide. So when you come back into centre this time, take your feet to the outside edges of your mat for windscreen wiper. Same thing. Take a breath, and as you exhale, both knees roll to the same side. Inhale through centre and exhale, take it over. Just going at your own speed. When you come back through centre this time, we're going to bring the legs into tabletop, so bringing them up one at a time, squeezing the knees and the feet together, and we're going to do the spine twist with the legs here. So again, take a breath, and as you exhale, knees go to one side, don't go as far. Inhale through centre and exhale the other way, because it's more work now. We've got a lot more load, so your abdominals are having to work harder to stabilise and to carry that extra load. Still trying to keep the rib cage anchored. And if it feels like it's too much, you can always go back to feet down on the floor. It's just nice to vary it up a little bit. When you get back in through centre this time, you're just going to pull your knees into your chest and give your knees a little hug. We're going to have one hand on the top of each knee, and we're going to open the knees apart and circle them around. And then reverse that circle, let's go the other way. And then we're going to keep hold of the right knee and let your left foot come back down onto the floor. Pull that right knee into your chest. Let's get a good deep stretch into your hip. Remembering to keep your bottom anchored, so you don't want to be lifting your bottom out of the mat. And then we're going to straighten that leg up towards the ceiling. Keep hold of it. And let's point and flex our foot here. And then let's circle the foot around. and reverse, go the other way. Good, and then pull your knee back into your chest again, give it a little hug. And releasing that leg. Let's do the same on the other side, so pulling the other leg in. Again, real deep stretch into the hips, keeping your bottom anchored. Straighten your leg up towards the ceiling, keep hold of it. And again, let's point and flex here. And circle in one direction. And then reverse that and go the other way. And then pull your knee back into your chest again, give it a good stretch. Releasing that leg, now we're going to take our legs long, arms overhead and stretch from your fingertips to your toes, make yourself as long as you can. And we're going to go into our crescent stretch from here. So walk your feet to the right. And then walk your arms and upper body also to the right. You're trying to get a stretch down that left side of your body. So if that feels enough for you, you can stay there, or you can add that little extra bit where you cross your left ankle over your right. And then with your right hand, you can grab your left wrist and just give it a little bit of a pull again, just to increase the stretch. Just holding here for a few breaths. And notice again here, are you creating tension? Are you trying to lift your body up out of the mat? Can you let your body be really relaxed and sink down into the mat? So thinking about melting into the mat rather than lifting away from it. It's really important that we take time to create space in the body, because we need space to be able to do any twisting, or a lot of the movements that we ask our body to do, we can't do if we're all compressed. So we need to find length and space. So this is a really nice movement to do that. When you're ready, release your arms. And we're going to walk our legs back into center and walk your legs to the left this time. Arms go up and overhead again, and then walk your arms and upper body also to the left. Again, you can stay here if that's enough, or you can cross your right ankle over your left. And then with your left hand, you can grab that right wrist and just give it a little bit of a pull again, just to increase the stretch. But you're always working with what feels right for your body, and if it's too much, you can take the arms out of it. You don't have to have the arms in. Or you can just do the arms and not the legs. You can just do whatever feels good to you. We want to make sure we've got both shoulder blades anchored onto the mat, and both of your butt cheeks are on the mat, so don't roll onto one side. Taking some deep breaths again, and noticing whether you're lifting away from the mat or whether you can allow your body to melt into the floor. And then when you're ready, again, release your arms, release your legs, bending your knees one at a time, and then we're going to bring our knees into our chest. Move nice and slow, and just rock gently side to side. So we're going to come up onto all fours next. So take your time, but come on up. And we're going to go onto all fours. So let's spread our fingers really wide. Have your thumbs pointing towards each other and elbow pits are forwards. So, and from here, we're going to let our shoulder blades come together. So think about your chest sinking down towards the mat, shoulder blades come together, and squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then press into the mat and let your shoulder blades spread wide. And again, really hold that for a moment, just take that stretch. And then let's go. Inhale and exhale. Just move with the speed of your breath. Shoulder blades squeeze together, shoulder blades press wide. Have your eyes looking down towards the mat, keeping the back of your neck long. You can let your head hang if you want to. But really focusing on what's happening in your upper back with those shoulder blades. Can you squeeze them together? Can you press them wide? Are they moving evenly? Does one feel like it's moving more than the other? Check on those elbow pits. Have they rolled in to have a look at each other? Can you keep those elbow pits pointing forwards? That's the toughest. Have a look at your fingers. Are your fingers starting to buckle and bend? Can you flatten your fingers out? Where are your thumbs? Are they pointing towards each other, or are they sneaking to point the same way as your fingers? It's just tension in your hands. Okay, we're going to come out of this now. So just come on up to seated for a moment. Let's just give the hands a little stretch out. So bringing your elbow in by your side, palm facing up towards the ceiling, and then use your other hand to pull the fingers back. Again, making sure the fingers are straight. And then just gently pulling each finger in turn back, just to stretch out the fingers. Give them a little wriggle. Let's do the same on the other side. So elbow tucks in, palms facing up. Use your other hand again to pull the fingers back. And then just gently pulling each finger in turn. Give them a wriggle. I want you to bring your hands down onto the floor now. So can you get your fingertips just down onto the floor? And I don't want your fingers to bend, so you're trying to get the fingers straight. So like we just did with our hand, we're doing that with the floor. So fingertips down on the floor, and you're pushing your palms away from you. Thumbs are going to point right out to the sides. Elbows are slightly bent. Think about your elbows pointing behind you. And then can you circle your thumbs here? So big circles with the thumbs. And then reverse and go the other way. Really reach and circling those thumbs. And then give your fingers a wriggle. We're going to go back onto all fours again for our forearm push-ups this time. So again, fingers spread wide. Thumbs point towards each other and elbow pits are forwards. Okay, so this time you're going to bend your elbows, bringing your chest down towards the mat, and then you're going to straighten your arms to come back up. So it's like a little mini press up. But what I want you to really notice is that as you bend your elbows, that your bottom isn't going back towards your heels, because that's cheating. So you're just going to bend the elbows and take your upper body down and then come back up. And you don't have to go all the way down to the mat, just go as far as you can control it. And once you're happy with that, if ever, you're going to notice what's happening with your shoulder blades now. So as you bend your elbows and lower your chest down, are your shoulder blades coming in towards each other? Can you try and keep your shoulder blades wide as you come down? So you might have to go not quite as low, but can you keep those shoulder blades wide so they're not collapsing in? 2 more. And 1 more time. Good job. Okay, we're going to come down onto our elbows now. And then we're going to turn the hands over so the palms are facing up towards the ceiling. Can you try and get each of your fingernails down on the floor and your thumb and the back of your wrist down? So that's quite a lot. Can you try and get the complete back of your hand flat? That's quite a lot, yeah? Can you take one hand and place it flat on top of the other to really add a little bit more weight? To try and get the back of that hand flat down. And then can you reach that arm a little bit further out in front of you? So reach it forwards and then pull your bottom in the opposite direction. So you're kind of adding a little bit more of a stretch. You can let your head rest down onto your arm or onto the mat. Couple of breaths there. And then we're going to come up, and we're going to do the same on the other side. So the other hand is going to turn over, and place your hand on top. Try and get the back of the hand as flat down as you can. Again, we're reaching that arm a little bit further forwards. We're going to pull our bottom back in the opposite direction, and just hold here. Good. All right, we're going to come out of that. You're going to sit your bottom back all the way to your heels now, into your rest position, and reach your arms forwards. Circle your arms out to the sides and bring your arms down by your feet. And if you want to, you can just tuck your hands just under the front of your ankle, just to add a little bit of weight. And it kind of feels quite nice then on your hands, and you can let your shoulders relax. All right, we're going to come out of that. We're going to go back onto our elbows again. We're going to do thread the needle this time. So we're going to take one hand, we're going to thread it behind the elbow of the other, and we're going to allow our upper body to twist. You can bring your shoulder and your ear down to the floor. If you can't quite reach, you can grab a cushion or something to pop under your head to help. And you'll reach that arm through. And we're going to hold here and take a few breaths. And we're going to come up and do the same on the other side. So the other hand comes down, twist the other way. Really reaching that arm through. You can let your shoulder and your ear come down. Again, just holding for a couple of breaths. And when you're ready, we're going to come through, and we're going to come all the way up to seated. So we're just going to give the hands a little stretch. So come on up to seated. In fact, we're going to stay seated for a few minutes now. So if you do want to grab yourself like a cushion or something to sit on just to make you a little bit more comfortable, that's fine, just to help you find that neutral pelvis. That's fine. And then we're going to bring the backs of the hands together for reverse prayer hands. Backs of the hands together, you can let your fingers just slightly intertwine and get your thumbs together. Pull your thumbs away from the rest of your fingers. And then keeping the backs of the hands together, we're going to again lower our hands down. And just hold here. Notice if your shoulders have started to roll forwards, and you keep your shoulders relaxed and down. And then let's take those hands side to side. All right, and then just release your hands, give them a little wriggle. So I'm doing a little bit of seated shoulder work now. So you're going to take one hand and take it behind your back. We're trying to get this upper arm as vertical as possible. So notice if your elbow's really poking out to the side. Try and get that arm as far across as you can. And let your shoulders just be relaxed down. So already that might feel like quite a stretch through the shoulder, through the chest, through the upper arm even. So just take a couple of breaths there and allowing the rest of your body to be fairly relaxed. But we don't want to be compressed and slumping down. So we still want to be stacking our body so that our head is over our rib cage, is over our pelvis, so that your body's holding its weight really nicely. And so you can always grab a cushion if you need to. All right, we're going to let that arm go. Just give it a little shake out. And do the same on the other side. So when you're ready, take your other arm behind your back. Again, making sure your elbow isn't poking out to the side. Try and get that upper arm as close to your body as you can. And notice, is it different on this side? Is one side tighter than the other? If you're a rib thruster here, make sure that you aren't lifting your ribs up and arching your back, 'cause you'll feel that as kind of like just an ache in your lower back. And we don't want to be doing that. Alright, let it go. Again, give it a little shake out. So feel free to keep switching up your seating position. I'm just going to cross my legs over the other way, but feel free to keep moving around as much as you need to. We're going to go back to the first side again. So arm goes behind. And then if it feels okay for you, we're going to start to sneak that lower arm up your spine this time. So instead of it being straight across your back, it's starting to go up. See how that feels. And you're only going as far as you can control it, and it feels okay for you. So again here, watch to make sure that your elbow hasn't snuck right out to the side. It wants to be really snuggled in close to your body and as vertical as you can. Notice if it's making you want to lean forwards here as well. Or, you know, is your head wanting to poke forwards? Try and keep your head in really good alignment, so we're thinking about length through the back of the neck. Alright, let that go. Give your arm a little shake out and do the same again on the other side. So arm goes back. And again, can you start to sneak your arm up your spine? And how does it feel? If you want to, you could tilt your head the opposite way just to give, I like to multitask, but just to give even more of a stretch. I kind of like to put movements together, so you can try that too. Again, this is just a release. You're putting your body into a position to allow everything to release tension. So the longer you can hold it and the more you can just kind of allow your breath to facilitate that relaxation, the better. But we're not, you know, we never stay too long in classes, but you can always feel free to spend longer doing this on your own. Let it go. Give it a little move. Maybe give your shoulders a little wriggle, turn your head. All right, we've got one more to do. We're going to try and flip our hand this time. So go back to your first side. Arm goes behind your back. Arm sneaks up your back, and then can you flip your hand so that your palm is facing in towards your spine rather than pointing out? And that might just be a little bit too much for you right now, so don't worry if it is, but just try it and see how that feels. It kind of really gets into all of the nooks and crannies. You can kind of really feel that that's getting into places that don't normally get a lot of attention. Alright, let it go. Come out of that one super slow. Give your arm a little shake around. Maybe give your shoulders a little move. And do the same on the other side. So again, sneak your arm behind, up your spine, and then can you flip your palm so the palm is facing in rather than out. And sometimes you can do it on one side and not the other, and that's okay. Just noticing. Notice again, has it made you kind of lean to one side or hike your shoulder up? Have you had to contort your body in any way to get there? So just notice that. Good. Alright, let it go. Moving super slow. Just let it go. Give everything a little wriggle around. Again, you just don't want to be creating and holding a lot of tension there. We're just going to do some shoulder circles now. Again, make the circle, I said circles, make the circles as big as you can. And go the other way. They really like to move, so let's let them move. Alright, we're going to do some twists now. So think about that length through your body. So head is balanced straight on top of shoulders, pelvis, rib cage and pelvis. Inhale, grow tall, and exhale as you twist. So we're not going to use the arms, we're going to go as far as we can to one side as you exhale, and then let your hands come down. Just breathe normally here. You can use your hands to give you a little bit more of a twist here. And with each exhale, see if you can twist just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. When you're ready, we're going to come through centre. We're going to inhale and grow super tall again. Exhale, let's twist the other way, go as far as you can, and then let your hands come down, and they might just give you a little bit more of a twist. Again, we're just going to breathe normally here, and with each exhale, you'll see if you can just wring out a little bit more of a twist. Again, inhale, we're going to come through centre, grow tall. Exhale as you twist, go as far as you can, and then use your hands. So while you're here holding this twist, notice whether you are leaning back or rib thrusting. Just check again with your alignment. Is your head kind of directly in line with your shoulders? Is your rib cage directly over your pelvis? Come back in through centre, and let's twist the other way. Again, just checking your alignment here, making sure that you are stacked, well stacked. And then we're going to move freely then, so don't worry too much now, just go from one side to the other. Still think about growing tall as you come through centre. So we're going to do a little mermaid movement next. So you've got options for the mermaid movement. You can have your legs crossed, you can have both legs to one side, or you can have one leg in front and one leg behind. So kind of have a play and see what feels good to you. I'm going to have both legs to one side, and I'm going to hold on to my ankles here. Okay. So find the position that feels okay for you, and then whichever side your legs are at, you're going to take your arm up towards the ceiling, the opposite arm, sorry, towards the ceiling. And if your legs are crossed, just pick a side, it doesn't matter. And we're going to inhale, lift as tall as you can. And as you exhale, we're going to side bend towards your legs. So side bend towards the side that your legs are at. And really keep reaching, keep lifting. We don't want to be dropped and collapsing here, so keep lifting. Think about stretching your fingertips in one direction and your bottom is anchored in the opposite side. Reach. Okay, and then we're going to come up, lower that arm all the way down to the mat. Other arm is going to lift now. That arm that's on the mat, you can allow that elbow to bend as you side bend over the other way. Again, really reaching. So you're reaching your fingers in one direction, you're reaching your bottom down towards the mat the other way. Might not be all the way down, touching the mat, but that's okay. And then again, we're going to windmill the arms as we come up and over. Again, reach and stretch. So you can start to let that movement flow a little bit once you know that you're moving well and that you've got that lift and that stretch and that you aren't just flinging your arms around. So just do a couple more. And making sure that you're even. We're going to switch our legs over. So if your legs are crossed, you're just going to cross them over the other way. If you've got your legs to one side, you're just going to switch them over to the other side. Okay. So again, whichever way your legs are gone, the other arm is going to reach up towards the ceiling first. And we're going to lift, inhale, lift as tall as you can. And as you exhale, you're going over into that side bend. Notice whether your chin is poking forwards. Can you keep your chin back so you've got beautiful length through the back of the neck? Stretch fingertips one way. Bottom reaching the other way, really anchoring into that mat and creating length and stretch. Let's go, arm down, allow that arm to bend slightly as your other arm reaches up and over. Just holding it for a moment, reach your fingertips as far as you can, really pulling your bottom down towards the mat, and then let's start to let it flow again here. You can move as quickly or as slowly as you like, as long as it's controlled and you're not flinging your body around. You want to really find that lift and that beautiful stretch. All right. Making sure that you are even. I'm going to do one more. And then we're going to come out of that. I'm going to go back to cross-leg position. Feel free to find a position that works for you. Okay, so this time we're going to reach the arms out to the side And we're going to scoop, 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 like you've got a great big beach ball, and you're going to hug that big beach ball and you're going to squeeze all of the air out. We're going to let our head drop down. Think about your shoulder blades going really wide in your back. Make your upper back as broad as you can as you squeeze. Now we're going to open out. We're going to start to lift the head. We're going to start to lift the chest as we open out the arms. We're going to take the arms all the way back behind us. I'm going to turn my hands so the palms face behind now, thinking about lifting my chest and lifting my head towards the ceiling. I'm going to go back the other way. Turn your hands. Palms are coming forwards. Scoop again, great big beach ball. Think about those shoulder blades going wide, broadening your upper back. Head's going to drop. And let's go the other way again. Chest lifts, head lifts. Finding length through your spine. I'm going to do one more time. Big stretch through the upper back. And then lifting your chest and lifting your gaze towards the ceiling, and then release. We're going to reach one arm forwards now. Shoulders are going to stay down away from your ears, and you're going to keep your body still as you bring that arm as far across as you can. Once it's gone as far as it can on its own, then you're going to use your other arm to scoop it up and pull it in towards you. Drop your shoulder down away from your ears, because chances are it's tried to sneak up, so shoulder down away from your ears. So we're really stretching out the deltoids on the front of the shoulder here. Notice if your body's twisted. Try and keep your body facing forwards, nice and still. So it's just the arm that's come across and your body hasn't twisted. It's quite tricky. All right, so that arm that's come across, we're going to take it up towards the ceiling this time. And then we're going to bend the elbow and let that hand drop down behind your head. Notice whether that's made your head poke forwards. Can pull your head back, keeping length through the back of the neck. And then your other hand is going to come up and overhead to grab that elbow and to pull it. Just to support it, give it a good stretch. Now make sure here that that hasn't meant that your ribs have lifted. Try and keep your ribs down. And if it's making your ribs lift, come this way and hold the hand from the front. Okay, so we're going to keep this, holding onto this elbow. We're going to inhale, we're going to lift the body super tall. We're going to do a little side bend again as you exhale. Let's take it over to one side. Inhale as you come through centre, and exhale, take it over to the other side. Inhale through centre, we're going to do one more on each side. Exhale, inhale through centre, and exhale. All right, when you come back to centre this time, we're going to release those hands down. Give your shoulders a little circle, a couple of times in each direction. And we're going to do the same on the other side this time. So again, arm reaches forwards. Bring that arm across. Drop your shoulders down. When it's come as far as it can on its own, you're going to scoop it up with that other arm and pull it in towards you. Making sure that your body hasn't twisted again, so body's still facing forwards. Shoulders are down. Hold here for a couple of breaths. Alright, so again, the arm that's come across is going to reach up towards the ceiling, stretch, and it's going to bend at the elbow, hand is going to drop behind. Other arm is going to come up and over your head to grab that elbow, to support it and to pull it in a little bit more. Keeping the ribs down, remember you can always bring the arm in front rather than overhead if you need to. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, take it into a side bend, only go as far as you can. Inhale through centre and exhale to side bend. Inhale, centre, one more to each side. And as you come back up through centre this time, release your hands. A little circle again, a couple of times in each direction. All right, we're going to come on up to standing now. So just make sure again you're standing in really nice alignment. So feet are hip width apart, weight is back through your heels. You just always want to make sure that you're not reinforcing bad movement positions by kind of letting your hips come forwards. Okay, so we're going to give ourselves a hug. So one hand on top of the other. Bring your hands around and try and see if you can get your fingertips to find the inside edge of your shoulder blades. Can you just grip the inside edge of your shoulder blades? And if you can't, it doesn't matter. Just go as far as you can. And then can you drop your shoulders down away from your ears? And just hold here. So this is a really nice stretch for your shoulders and your upper back. Couple of breaths. And then we're going to slowly release the arms, still keep them crossed, bend at the elbows. Can you bring the backs of the hands together? So backs of the hands are together-ish. And then can you do like little windscreen wipers side to side here? So it will depend on how much tension and tightness you have through your shoulders. This is a really difficult movement for me to do. It might be a lot better for you. All right, and then remembering which arm was on top, we're going to let the arms go, just let them swing. And we're going to go back to the hug again. So opposite arm on top this time. Again, reach your hands behind, try and see if you can just grab the inside edge of your shoulder blade and then drop your shoulders down away from your ears, so you don't want to be lost in like a polo neck jumper. Get your shoulders down. Just hold here for a couple of breaths. And then we're going to do that little version of our eagle arms again. So starting to release your arms, keeping the elbows together. You're going to bring the backs of the hands together as best you can. And hold here. And then again, can you do little windscreen wipers side to side? Maybe, maybe not. And then we're going to let them go. Again, just let them swing. I just want you to move your arms all around now, maybe taking them up overhead, moving them around. You can let them be bent, you can let them be straight, just get them moving everywhere. Maybe crossing in front, opening out. We don't get our arms overhead nearly enough. So try and get your arms overhead, maybe do opposite arms, just freeing off any tension, any tightness that we have. Bringing your hands in front again, we're going to interlace the fingers and then press the palms down towards the floor again, really stretching into your hands, press down. Release that and let's press forwards like we did at the beginning. Release that, press up towards the ceiling. Keep pressing up towards the ceiling and let's take it into a little side bend here. And over, so just nice and free. Let's just do a couple of side bends. When you come back up to centre, release your hands, let your arms go behind, interlace your fingers behind and press your arms down towards the floor. Pulling your shoulder blades together. And again, can you lift your arms behind you without having to shift your hips forwards and without having to lift your ribs? You lift your arms. And then release. Give everything a little shake. Give everything a little... And you guys are all done. Thank you very much.